The Trials and Tribulations of an Engineer. Episode 1, Education Pivot. Throughout my early university and college education, as well as early on in my mechanical engineering career, I have often searched for information, guides, and general rules of thumbs on how to survive in the often cutthroat world of engineering. I have unfortunately always come up short in finding what I was looking for. That is the main purpose of this video. I hope that the small ramblings that I put out to the YouTube world will provide someone somewhere with a taste of what it takes to be an engineer from my very small perspective. There are so many different paths to choose from that I can't be specific to all, but I can put general life truths that I found out into the open and share them with you to hopefully get you smarter and faster so that you don't have to suffer through hard real-world life lessons that I was forced to endure. When I was first asked what I wanted to do in life or work while I was in high school, I honestly had no idea what would be a good fit for me, and at the time there was no such thing as YouTube which could give me a hint of what different careers could be. At that time I just had to choose my prospective career based on the subjects that I was good at, as well as trying to pick a career that would provide a good living for me and any future family that I may have. I was generally a straight A student, which didn't help narrow down any of the job fields. I remember that a mentor once advised me that choosing a job based on a loved hobby often kills the enjoyment of that pastime. I am still unsure if that piece of advice holds true. Please comment below if you agree or disagree. For me, this took out computers and video games from my job search aspirations. Eventually, after reviewing many school offerings as well as pricing, I had decided to get as much bang for my parents' buck and went for a dual degree in both physics and electrical engineering. The 3-2 program worked as follows. I would spend 3 years studying physics at St. John's University and would essentially complete that degree 1 year early, but I would not be able to obtain the physics degree till I finished 2 more years in Manhattan College to get my electrical engineering degree. In hindsight, I can say that I never had officially made money from my first degree in physics, but I have used its principles to assist me in my engineering degree and generally for my critical thinking skills. Since the focus of this video is on engineering, I will skip my first 3 years of schooling in physics at St. John's University and move on to my educational experience at Manhattan College. Side note, when I attended this school it was called Manhattan College, but as of 2024 they are now known as Manhattan University. Aesthetically, there was a big difference between the campuses of St. John's and Manhattan College. St. John's had by comparison a huge campus with lots of green space. Mind you that I have just entered the school after completing 3 years in my previous university. I was technically a senior, but because of the way the 3-2 program works I was a junior again, or as I like to call myself, a super junior. My first day at this new campus was slightly before the new school year would begin. I had to meet the transfer student advisor, who this year changed from the person that I had dealt with only a few months prior. Now I was ready for this to be a quick and ceremonial type of meeting, just meant as a meet and greet. I could not be more wrong. The first lesson that I would like to impart to you all is that even if you have no reason to think something could go wrong, at least expect that there is always a possibility that it can. I entered the office of the transfer advisor and everything began as well as can be expected. We exchanged pleasantries and then she went over my transcripts from my previous school. She said that everything seemed in order, but then in the same breath said that I would have another 4 years to complete my electrical engineering degree. If I told you that my jaw hit my lap, I was not exaggerating. I come from humble beginnings, and the whole point of me being in the 3-2 program was to finish in a total of 5 years. This would have been a financial and time burden on me and my family that I had not anticipated. This advisor, for no apparent reason, is now expecting me to spend a total of 7 years in college. I calmly explained to her that I am part of a 3-2 program and that there must be some misunderstanding. I had followed the program and completed all the requirements. She very matter-of-factly stated that now that she is the transfer advisor she will no longer accept the old requirements because she felt that they were not up to her standards. As I sat there in shock for a few seconds, I asked her if there was an engineering degree that I could finish in 2 years as was my original plan. She said that I could accomplish that with a mechanical engineering degree. I told her to sign me up for that program. The advisor then started to ramble on about how I cannot make a life-changing decision so quickly. I told her that I just did and made sure that she wrote up the proper paperwork including my class schedule and walked out. Ultimately, the decision to pick a new major was easy for me because I knew how much sacrifice my family had to endure just to get me where I was. I was not going to encumber them for an extra 2 years, essentially $80,000, out of both love and respect.